Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode today. My name is Joe Demizwe, and I will be your host for this session. Today, we'll be talking about positioning power, how female professionals can turn expertise into opportunities. And I'm not alone today. I have a leadership visibility coach with me. She's also the founder of Bio Branding Academy. Let me just give you a brief about Bio Branding Academy. Bio Branding Academy is a premium digital learning platform designed to help career women build personal brands, professional authority, and visibility online, powered by tech, community, and coaching. So, please let's welcome Mrs. Bridget Ibuchim Owabe. So, you're welcome, ma. Good to have you here
Thank
today.
you. Thank you so much, Joy, for having me. Thank you.
So we are so excited to learn from you today. So let's just start with you telling us about your journey from being a medical laboratory scientist to becoming a leadership visibility coach. How did you make this transition?
All right. Thank you so much for the question there. So, like you said, my name is Bridget Ibuchim Owabe, and I am a personal development coach, thought leadership visibility, um, helping female professionals to build clarity, identity, and visibility for what they already know. And of course, make impact, make profit also. So, my journey so far from being a medical laboratory scientist to doing what I do right now is not a straight one. I didn't
Okay.
start out um, becoming a coach and all those stuff. So, at some point from the university, I did everything academic wise. But
Okay.
life is a journey. And
Yeah.
as you grow, you begin to see some patterns. A lot of things get clearer to you as a person. We all know that if you're a Christian, you know that as God created us, you have your purpose. I believe that every one of us have a reason for being here in the first place. But it doesn't really come to you at a glance. You need to, as you show up, it gets clearer. So,
Okay.
being a lab scientist, at some point during my internship, that was when everything became so very clear. I found that, of course, I love helping people, but at that particular space, I was feeling a little bit choked. Seeing coming in close contact with sick people, it was messing up my emotion somehow. Seeing them in that way gets me a whole lot. And besides, I found out that I wanted to be more in the open, not just you know, running samples and all those stuff. I wanted to be more in the open, interfacing with people. And I also understood that I love explaining things to people. So I said, okay, how can I do this? And I now kind of switched to academia. So
Okay.
currently, I work with a university here in Port Harcourt. That is where I teach. So I get to teach students. I am an educator. And online, I also help women build their brand, become visible for what they do, and of course, build influence and make impact. So that is my journey in a nutshell.
Oh, awesome, awesome. I've actually read some of your posts on LinkedIn and I'm like, wow, you actually know how to break complex terminologies into simpler terms that people can understand. You know how to explain things. Like it's so easy to understand your post, your content. So like thumbs up, thumbs up. Yeah. So, but we'd like to know what inspired you. Like, yeah, I mean, you've told us about how you were able to discover yourself, how you were able to discover your passion, and how you were courageous enough to make that keyword, yeah, and go for what you want. But what now inspired you to found the Bio Branding Academy?
Yes, Bio Branding Academy. When I started it, it was all about. I see a lot of women who are they are good at what they do, but nobody knows about it. Also because I used to be that person who is so relegated. Like there was this burden of fear that used to envelop me. People who knew me back then in school, when they see me now, they'll be like, Bridget, what happened to you? And it's growth anyway. So a lot of people are still in that space where they have not given themselves permission to show up. They know a lot, but they prefer to keep quiet. They prefer to just do the work in the background. So that
And
made me to say,
expect the work to speak for them. and
yes,
expect their
yes,
work to speak for them, yeah.
yes. So that's part of why I said, okay, let me be the one helping these people because I've been there and I can show them the way. Also because most times when I sit down and listen to people, they talk about things and I don't really get it. They don't really, okay, you're giving me enough information. So what's next? What else can I do from here? Maybe because I am a practical person, of course, you know what I read. Maybe so I am always looking for, so what? So what? You've given me the information. So what's the next step? Assuming I don't know anything. So how should I go about it? So I try to make my own very practical. Wherever I go, whatever I teach, I make sure it's very practical. You understand it. So that is all what's brought about Bio Branding Academy. And we have been able to make a difference in our own way from that aspect. Yeah.
Awesome. So when you hear positioning power, what does it
Mm,
mean?
yeah. So positioning power actually is your own ability to control what people know about you, what they think about you, and your value they attribute to you as a person. So that is basically what positioning power is. If you're able to clearly communicate what you do, who you help, and why it matters, people begin to see you. Okay, when they think about you, they can associate you with this is what you do as a person. This person, this is what I understand that they do as a person. And it's all about what you talk about, what the experiences that you have, like you've been able to clearly position yourself in people's mind through, of course, your content, through the things you talk about, through um the things you put your name to the causes that you believe in and all those stuff. So that is what positioning power basically is. What people know you for. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you because I noticed that if you keep posting content about a particular topic, before you know it, people start asking you questions about it, making inquiries. For instance, if you keep posting about health, before you know it, people are coming to ask you about health related issues. They bring opportunities to you that are health related. So it's what you tell people that they, associate you with. And I mean, I've had opportunities, I've had situations whereby somebody just called me to say, oh, there's this opportunity for PR because I'm a public relations professional. And the first person that I could think of is you. Why? Because I'm always putting myself out there. I'm always saying this is what I do and all of that. So yes, I agree with you. But what do you think? Why do you think many female professionals struggle to position themselves effectively, even when they are highly skilled?
So the first thing is clarity. If you don't understand yourself and what you carry, the level of power in you, who you are, like at your core, you've not really understood yourself, you've not gotten that clarity, it's difficult for you to put yourself out there. The second thing is giving yourself permission. I know people will say, okay, I'm afraid, and what will people say? What will this one do? The basic thing there is permission. You've not permitted yourself to say, okay, this is what I want to do. Of course, you are an adult. Not as long as what you're doing is good, is ethical, like you're not doing anything bad. So why are you afraid? It's all about you. Those people you're thinking about, they don't really care so much. Everybody have what they are doing. Like, we are all very busy. Those people you think they are looking at you, they're waiting for you to fail. What would they say? What would they think? It's not really that hard. It's not really that difficult. So it's all about you having clarity and giving yourself permission to show up as a person of value.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
what it basically is.
okay, I think there's also this fear of how will people perceive my message? Will people engage with my posts? I don't know if you faced this challenge when you first started your visibility journey. That fear of, oh, if I post, nobody's reacting, nobody's liking. It just feels discouraging and you don't want to go again. So, did you ever experience that?
Yes, 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 yes. So even now, if I am being very honest with you, I don't have thousands of comments on my post. But there is this quote. Let me borrow this quote that I heard and I love it so much. It says that when you know what anchors you, you no longer drift. That was why Bibi that said that post. Like, if you know who you are, you know where you're coming from, like, you know what you want, you know where you're going. Things like comments and how many likes and how many views shouldn't deter you now. Because, of course, they are good, but that's not the main thing. What is your goal? Put it out there. For me, I will put it out there. Let
Okay.
it do the job. The people who even come to you, the people who work with me, the people who care to come and send you that DM and say, I want to work with you, most of them don't even comment, they don't react. They are just watching, they are looking and waiting for the right time to come in. So when you know what you want, those things shouldn't be a problem. They are not a problem to me, really, honestly.
Okay, so I just learned something from what you said, that you shouldn't be discouraged by the number of likes or reactions that you have, because some people are watching whether you like it or not, they can see your
Mm.
post. So yes, so keep going and keep going. I think when the results start coming in, you will now become even more encouraged to continue, but you don't need to start and be consistent in the first place.
Exactly.
So can you share
Exactly.
practical ways that women can start positioning themselves as authorities in their field?
So, okay, one of the ways women can start positioning themselves is one, having that clarity of what you do, who you do it for, like the results that it can give to the people you're called to serve. Yeah. And
Yeah.
once you define that your messaging, what is your message? If you're able to define what your message is, what is the value you're bringing to the table? If you're able to define it, that's like, what do you want to be known for? If you've been able to define it, that is number one. And of course, you can start putting yourself out there little by little. It mustn't be that much. When you're getting started, you're still counting your baby steps. So it's easier for you to start small, start putting yourself out there. There are lots of things that you know. What I tell people is, tell me, what do you know? They kind of list out everything that they know. So what do you know? This is number one. I know this, number two, number three, number four. They keep listening. I say, okay, so what do you want to be known for? Something you want to be known for in the next 4 or 5 years. Of course, life is a journey. There can be some twerking as you go, which is okay, which is part of growth. But what do you want to be known for in a long while? So you can now circle those things. I want to be known for this. I want to be known for this. This is my area of competence and all those stuff. Then you can now look around. Is this really important to people? Do people care about it and all those stuff? And if they do, those things, most times you already know these things. It's just for you to give yourself that permission to start talking about it in your own little way. Either through showing people this is what I do, or through teaching people this is what I do, or through showing up, putting yourself out there, writing those content. Because as long as the social media and the internet is concerned, content is your communication power. That's your channel of communication, whether it's through written content, whether it's through video content, whether it's through maybe blog posts, you're writing articles. All those things are all your content. If you're able to now start putting yourself out there and start engaging with people, there is this being able to engage with people is also a very good one, because through that way you start building your own community. People know that, okay, this person, you care about people. There was a time when I was starting out, there was this person that, every day you go to their post, you're supporting them, you're doing all those stuff, and they don't say nothing to you. They don't reply, they don't like. After some time, you start feeling a little uneasy. But with time, you understand that most times it's not really because they don't want to. They are probably very, if you're having 500, 1,000 and more comments on your post, it's not easy for you to really follow up. So I began to give them that grace. So that's just it. Yeah. That's just it. Being able to connect with people. That's where you be able to build a community of people who support you, who will support you for you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. So, but again, I've encountered some people that are like, oh, I have three things I can do. Is it possible for me to showcase those three skills or abilities at the same time? Sometimes it looks as if it looks confusing, because somebody sees you posting about catering today, and they see you posting about music tomorrow, and they see you posting about fashion. So, what advice would you give to people like that believe, okay, they are multi-potentialites, they have so many skills and abilities, and they want to showcase everything at once? So, what's your advice to those kind of people?
So it's really simple. It's really simple if you ask me. If the things that you care about are under one umbrella, maybe it's about fashion, different segments of fashion, sorry, different things under fashion. Of course, you can showcase them. But if these things are distinct, two distinct areas, you really need to sit down and ask yourself, which one do you really want to put your attention in? Because when you're chasing 3, 4, 5 things at once, some will suffer while some will grow. Yeah, some must suffer while some, because you cannot give maximum attention to all these things at the same time. So which one do you want to be your front? Which one do you want to be known for? Honestly, there are other things I do that I don't put out there. But when you come into my community, you will see those things. I can now talk to you about it. Those ones, I don't put them out there. So you must have what you really want to learn for, and that's the one you should lead with. That's the
Okay.
one you should lead with, especially when you're getting started. You know, if you think about some big influencers, they can decide to show you this one today, and tomorrow they are showing you something else, because they
Yeah.
have built a large following of people who don't really, they just care more about them than about whatever they bring to the table. So it's easier for them to follow them wherever they lead them to. So, but when you're getting started, it's important that you stay focused. Even if you want to bring in something else, you can put it at the background. When people come into your community, they can now see more. Then you can decide when you grow, this is what you want to, you can now decide, it's up to you to say, okay, this is what I want to now be putting out there. But if they are related, if you check my post, you see that I talk about women empowerment, I talk about visibility, I talk about thought leadership, I talk about, sometimes I talk about LinkedIn, and all these things I talk about personal brand development. All these things are so related and can come into one. So if that is how it is for you, of course, but if not, lead with this one. Keep this one at bay till you're grown.
Okay. Thank you so much for that clarification. So, from your experience, what other mistakes have you noticed female professionals making when it comes to positioning and visibility? Have you noticed some of those mistakes that you'd like to address?
Okay, common mistakes. The biggest and the number one of it will be lack of clarity. You know, it is lack of clarity that will make you think that instead of doing things my own way, let me copy this person. I think this person is better. This other person is better. This other person is better than me. Because you've not really understood yourself, you've not really understood the power that is within you. Both of us might be doing the same thing, but my own worldview, the angle through which I bring it to the open, and the angle through which this other person brings it is two different things. And you found out that as I am bringing my own, there are people who understand it from my own perspective
Yeah.
and from this person's perspective. So it's all about being able to understand yourself and know that you carry power too. You carry a lot of power. If you've been able to meet yourself and understand those things that are within you that are equally very powerful and lead from the inside out, you will no longer be copying people. You will no longer be like being envious of people and all those stuff. So that is the most important mistake I see people make. So that's why the first thing we always do is that clarity aspect of it. Being able to clarify that, okay, this is who I am. These are my values. These are my goals. Like, meet yourself. So it helps you to create as you. When you're creating as you. And it makes a lot of sense. And you see that people now see your value being aligned with your voice and who you are. And people follow you because, yes, you're authentic and whatever you're sharing is aligned with who you are in as yourself. So that's one mistake I see people make, not being themselves, not being able to meet themselves, not having that clarity. That is like the general and most important mistakes that I see people make when it comes to building out online.
Yeah, I love that. The power of authenticity, being your own unique self. That's what makes you stand out. You don't want to go online and start sounding like every other person. You must have your own unique perspective. Yeah, awesome. So, so how can women show up online without feeling like they are showing off? Because that's another thing that we hear. People are like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about my achievements. I don't want to make it sound as if I'm showing off." You know, that's will I call it false humility? Like, "Oh, I don't want anyone to think that I'm showing off." Oh, what can you say to this?
So it's a valid feeling. It's actually a valid feeling. Like you don't want people to feel like you're doing too much. Are you actually doing too much? Because you're sharing what you know. You're being um you're sharing your value to the world. And this is something that people need. This is stories that people need to hear. These are values that people can run with. These are experiences that can help somebody else out there. So you're not showing off, for crying out loud. There are people who do. There was a place I was teaching, and I had to use some certain examples that, like, people who come online and they do a lot of not very good stuff, and they are super proud of it. And you, that you're giving value, you're sharing your experiences, like you're d- giving out something that the next generation can run with, and you're the one being afraid, and you're the one feeling like you're showing off. Are you actually showing off? No, you're not showing off. You are sharing your value. You're looking at the impact side, and that is what makes it unique. Because it will be like a tragedy when you don't get to share these important experiences and values that you carry, and at the end of the day they are totally enclosed inside you. You never shared them till you get old. Maybe the person goes without sharing those things. I think even God might ask you, why didn't you share what I gave you? He will. So you're not showing off, except of course you're showing off. But if you're thinking about it this way, I'm sharing this thing, I'm impacting someone, I'm sharing my story. A woman out there is using it to better her life, to see that this is possible, to see that she can be able to do this. Like, she's not the only one at this level right now. Since you have been able to go from point A to point B, she's seeing it and she knows that, okay, she can also go from point A to point B. Even if she's a mom, you're doing this, you're a mom, she's equally a mom, she's now seeing that, okay, since this person is doing it, this is also possible for me. So you're thinking about impact. It is not showing off. You should
Okay.
do that.
Okay, so we have just spoken about people who actually have those skills but are afraid that they're showing off. What about people who have this imposter syndrome and they feel like, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't see myself as an authority. What if, that kind of fear, what would you say to people like that?
So at some point, we all have that fear. I don't think this thing is good enough. Even till now, I still sometimes postpone things because I don't think it's nice. I don't really call it. There are sometimes I want to put things out. I really want it to be good, so that when my name is attached to this thing, I can proudly say that yes, I am the one that put it out. That kind of mentality. I want to be able to give people my best. So it comes with some little imposter syndrome trying to make it better. Yeah. So if you're someone who thinks, okay, you need to really follow it. Why do you have this imposter syndrome? Is it because you think you're not good enough? Why do you think you're not good enough? Is it because you failed in one thing before? someone have laughed at you, can you really try to pinpoint why you feel this way? Because if you're able to follow it up and pinpoint where this error is coming from, you will be able to go against it. If you can be able to see, okay, there was one time I failed at this thing, and this is what people said, this is how it made me feel. You can be able to now say, okay, I've grown past this level, I've forgiven myself, now I am coming out better. So if you're able to pinpoint why you're feeling this imposter syndrome, it's better for you. If maybe you think you don't know enough, it's okay. Can you just start small from where you are? And as you're starting, be open to learning more, because learning is not something that is something that is lifelong. We keep learning. We keep learning. As you're learning, you're sharing, you're getting better. If you're saying that, okay, because imposter syndrome is disturbing me, let me sit down and wait till whenever imposter syndrome leaves me, it's not going to leave you and you will not get better. But when you're putting yourself out there little by little, focus on the people who value what you bring. They might be one or two steps behind you. You're not thinking of those who are doing it in a big way, who are much, 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 much better than you. You're thinking of the people who you're bringing the value to. So you're coming out little by little and you're learning, becoming better and better as you go. So as you're showing up, those challenges, those imposter syndrome, they are leaving you. But if you sit down and cross your leg and say, okay, let me wait, whenever imposter syndrome leaves, I'll come out, it's not going to leave. But as you keep showing up, all those strongholds will begin to leave you. You begin to be clearer. You get clearer, you get sharper, you get like, you get better. Yeah. So that is what you need to do.
Okay, there's something you said that I really, really love. You said confidence comes from knowledge. The more you keep building up your knowledge, the more confident you become. So if you notice that you are not knowledgeable in a particular area, instead of letting hold you back, just take some online courses or read some books.
That,
Tell yourself, I must crash it. This thing, you will not take over me. I will dominate over you. I will take over. I will take charge. So thank you so much for sharing that. So let's talk about the good parts. What have you had any beautiful moment during your leadership visibility coaching journey, like, or throughout your visibility journey, that you just really loved the moment? Like maybe something spectacular happened as a result of a post that you put out there.
so there are a lot of beautiful things that have happened to me as a person. So I think I shared briefly. Um, Bridget is that woman who cannot raise her hand once there are two, three persons in the room. That used to be me. It was like a very big stronghold. At some point, I had to put it in prayer. It was super strong. It was super, super strong. Hmm? At some point, at some point, I think I kind of embarrassed myself when I was given a microphone to talk about something, and it was in front of a large crowd. So that was a turning point for me. That was when my journey of finding myself, reinventing myself, that was what when it started. Because that day I came back home and I cried like never before. Like, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're all these beautiful things. So what is the problem? What is the problem? And I begin to like introspect. And I told myself, it is either I win or I win. It's either I win or I win. So from that moment, it has been beautiful. You know, being able to come out, share my story, share about me, talk, right, put out content out there, it makes me happy. From where I'm coming from, I am a core introvert, like
Mm.
very big one, a very core one, like that. So being able to come out, share, like being here, having this conversation with you. It's really beautiful. It's really
Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm
So,
actually enjoying the conversation.
so it's a beautiful thing, and it's one of the beautiful things that has happened to me. Right now, if there are conversations I want to put my name to, I want to talk about, even my place of work in church or all those kind of things, I boldly um, do it. Yeah,
Mm.
being able to answer your name, show up as you who you are is a very big deal. I'm telling you. From where I'm coming from, is a big deal. If you're someone who is an extrovert, okay, it might not be a big deal, but for me, it's a big deal, and it's one of the beautiful things that has happened to me. And also, I think I have been able to um publish one book, and my second book will be coming up in the next 2 3 months. I should be ready with the book, and that's where I shared about my journey from the medical lab scientist to what I am doing now to academy to be um going to the academia, and everything I'm doing now and all those stuff. I really shared everything in that book. So these are all of the beautiful things that I've been able to witness. And also finding clarity. I was telling somebody that you've not started living your life as a human being if you've not found clarity. Like you cannot be living your life like, okay, every day by one day at a time. Like you're walking towards something. You're walking towards, this is the vision I'm having for myself. This is the mission I'm having for myself. You come out every day and you're happy to live life. You're happy to be able to achieve and actualize your dreams. So even at your down moments, the times that you don't feel very okay, you remember that, okay, these are my why, these are the things I want to achieve. It makes you bounce back as a human being. So having clarity. And one more thing is, now I have kids, I have 4 kids. I watch them as they are growing, and as their mom, I am going to guide them early,
Mm.
make sure that they start early. Yeah, so these are more, are the beautiful things that I've been able to encounter and more.
Awesome. And
So that is it.
I believe there is more to come, and I believe you will stand on even bigger stages by the grace
Thank
of God.
you.
Yes.
Amen.
So, one takeaway from this is that first, when you start, it will not be perfect. For many of us, it was not perfect. For me, my first speech, I even cried. Sef. Yeah, but I mean, because of that, that ginger was there. That the next time I'm going to give a speech, no, 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 this cannot happen to me. I must put in all effort. So the next time I had to give a speech, it now became better. In fact, that was like the best, one of the best speeches there in that class. So it gave me that confidence. So now, whenever I find myself anywhere, I was like, if I prepare and I rehearse, I know that I'll be able to stand and give a speech. So yeah, for the women out there who are listening to us, don't feel discouraged if it's not perfect at first. We are all works in progress. And the
Yes.
more we show up, the more we refine ourselves, the more it will get better. So please can you tell us how your academy helps women to achieve powerful positioning and to build their thought leadership and all of that? I saw something about a framework that you have. Can you just tell us a little bit about it for women who have listened to you now or listened to us and are saying, yes, I want to take the next step. I think I'm bold enough now to make this decision. I want to come out there. I want to position myself to the right audience. So, what is your advice to them? What are the next steps they need to take right now?
Okay. So when some people hear about positioning themselves online, building a brand, and all those stuff, some persons think that it's just for people who want to sell goods and services. Maybe you have something, you have an inventory, you want to sell something, or on all those stuff. It's not really that way. when people want to build their visibility online, for people I've worked with, some of them just want to be known for their profession, what they do. There are also other people who want to monetize. Some people come to me, they say they don't care about monetizing anything. They just want to be positioned and be known for the service, the from the aspect of the work they do, not necessarily selling something online. I say, okay. There are also people who say, okay, my main aim of being here is because I want to monetize this or that. So there are two categories. And what I do is I understand what you want and I give you what you want. So the first thing we do is, of course, we begin to go about the clarity, identity, all those stuff. We'll talk about being visible. And I use LinkedIn mostly because that is where most professionals are. So we begin to position you as either what you want to attract or who you are, because some people want to attract a certain type of job or a certain type of opportunity. Some people also want to just share what they know for the time being, because as time goes on, some of them will want to twerk one or two things. So
Yes.
we build you from ground up so that when you're sharing what you know, you're positioning yourself out there for the people whom you're helping, the people who care about the value that you bring to the world. Then, for those who want to maybe monetize themselves, monetize one or two things, go into teaching or coaching people or selling their products, we also help them package what they know into sellable products.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is like kind of two distinct things based on where you're coming from. If you just want to be a thought leader in your space and attract opportunities, maybe you're a tech person, or maybe you're in the health space, whatever it is, and you just want to showcase yourself out there so that when people need maybe a speaker, you're being called to come and deliver a lecture or a lesson on this particular topic because you've been putting yourself out there as someone who understands and knows this topic. They can come to you and say, okay, we need you to come and talk to us at so thing. Some people, that is just what they want, and they will be able to help them do that, position themselves on LinkedIn and be able to attract those opportunities.
Awesome. Awesome. So, how do people contact you for women who are interested in starting their branding journey, visibility journey? How do they contact you?
So the different ways to contact me. LinkedIn is like my number one platform, and my name there is Bridget Ibuchim Owabi. Of course, that's my name anywhere. My name is not changing. Bridget Ibuchim Owabi. I'm also on other platforms, like I'm on Facebook. I'm not very active. The only place I'm active is on LinkedIn. I have presence on other platforms. I have presence on TikTok. I have presence on Facebook. I have presence on Instagram. Yes, I just have presence. But my platform is LinkedIn. Also, my website, biobrandingacademy.com.
Okay.
biobrandingacademy.com. So these are places people can reach me to, especially from my LinkedIn. Especially from my LinkedIn, yeah.
Okay. So, it's been an amazing time having this conversation with you. Indeed, women have the power. We have the power. It's just that we've not discovered it yet. But thank you so much for letting us see how powerful we are and how powerful we can be, and also giving us a platform, creating this platform to also help women who are about to start their visibility journey. So we hope to have you some other time on this
Thank you.
platform. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much to everyone who has attended. If you have a question, please reach out to her personally on her LinkedIn platform, and I believe she will answer you. So for now, it's a goodbye and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you.